All right, so Gracen, tell us a little bit
Yes.
about yourself. First off, how do we know each other?
All right. So we know each other because I started with working with your lab for I think my sophomore spring it was,
Yeah,
till end of senior year. And then also in addition, you were my cell bio teacher, arguably the best.
of course.
So we go way back. Yeah, so my name is Grayson. I was a biology undergrad at Notre Dame. I graduated this past May. I also majored in theology, and then currently I am my position title is clinical, but I think it's best like more associated with as a clinical project manager or like clinical research associate. And I'm working at DC at Vanda Pharmaceuticals. Yeah, so you could take one look at my resume and know that is immediately not true. I definitely had quite a broad range of interests.
Yeah.
And my journey through undergrad was kind of all over the place, but I kind of always entered thinking I was going to go on to some sort of secondary schooling. And I don't know, it just like always kind of felt like there was like two paths for bio majors, med school, grad school. And so probably like most bio majors, I teetered and thought about med school, but I kind of always thought that was not going to be an option for me and was more down the graduate school route. So I kind of got involved with research right away. And my kind of over like or like themes throughout my undergrad was environment and disease. So I was constantly kind of just going back and forth, exploring each of those interests. And yeah, eventually this led me to this position. I honestly found it and kind of got into clinical research January of this past year, just talking through with other people. So yeah, just no set plan, just lots of trying different things out, and meeting new people. Yeah, it's definitely, I guess, like I wasn't really prepared as like a, or not prepared, but it's very different from what I expected. As far as like being in science, I just was always like there was science business, and now I'm like feel like I'm science and business kind of thing.
Yeah.
So very much I go in and it is a corporate job. Like it's 9 to 5. I work. I go into the office. I have myself a little cubicle, which I didn't expect to have. Monitors. I'm in meetings on Teams calls. So it's definitely it's a corporate job, which was kind of something I was new stepping into completely for the first time when I started this position. That being said, it's been a really cool experience and a different side to see that I can come into as a biology major. Yeah, I totally did not see myself coming to this. I like just didn't even know it was an option. Really had no idea what it would entail. So I really would say the pivotal step kind of came once I sorted through the fact that I really didn't want to go to grad school or med school, kind of gaining all those different experiences and perspectives. It really kind of came pretty recently to now. I mentioned the past January is when I kind of first discovered it. I was just literally looking all across LinkedIn for Notre Dame connections that were biology majors that didn't go to grad school or med school. And whoever I found, I reached out and I just called them. Kind of intimidating, but it ended up kind of leading me here. Notre Dame community is just so strong and like, I mean, alumni are just very, very willing to help. I would say that's tends to be from other people I've heard that tends to be kind of the major source of connections and getting
Sure.
jobs. I will say mine is an odd case that I just kind of applied through Handshake and got this exact position. But I would say that I gained a lot of knowledge and perspectives and honestly experience just talking in interviews, just being able to kind of converse with professionals through reaching out to Notre Dame alumni and connections that they had. And honestly, just like reaching out to people, a friend of a friend could just lead you. You never know where it's going to lead. I'm specifically assigned to a team that's a biologic. And so it's basically a drug that's produced from living organisms.
Yeah.
And this is the very first one that our company is applying for. I'm the only one that's specifically assigned to this team. And we're doing also a lot of genetic work with that as well. So looking at like individualized medicine. So seeing how a person's certain genetic sequencing impacts how this drug is, how it's going to affect them, if they're going to get a treatment effect or if not.
Sure.
And so it's really fascinating to be kind of right on the front line of this new drug that's being put out there. It's going to get possibly orphan designation, which just basically means that it's the first in its class for this kind, for this rare disease. And so it's just really cool work. And so things that I just never really realized that I would be a part of, like I am involved in writing the protocols that are going to be in the process for these studies. I'm involved in meeting with these consultants in foreign countries, might even travel to these foreign countries, like
nice.
Kind of things that I feel like I'm not qualified, but at the same time, I am, because this is what they've trained us for. This is what we're doing.
Yeah.
So it's really cool work to be a part of. Yeah, I would say probably the first one that's popping into my mind is any sort of data analysis. Biostatistics, that's a huge field, like very relevant to us, specifically clinical trial statistics.
Yeah.
So if you're kind of called to the numbers side of things, also like policy, writing these policies for different laws of how, even in the context of individualized medicine, so there might be like an ethical approach, like looking at the laws of like surrounding human research and how we can use this medicine. And consulting, we work with a lot of consultants, so kind of just bringing that expertise as a biology major, as someone that is relevant and familiar with this scientific knowledge, being able to kind of interpret it and make it more
sort of
digestible
functioning as like a liaison between
totally. And that's actually another position that I came across several biology majors have, was literally liaison, being able to go between these
pharma
medical
and medical groups. Yeah.
Three like major ones really come in mind. And so kind of evidence also by my resume, I love to travel. And so I've always been drawn to both positions and internships or opportunities that bring with travel, kind of what drew me to this position to begin with. But I would say first off, I did an RU in Iceland. And so this was in aquatic ecology, obviously very different than what I'm doing now. But this really kind of taught me I had a lot of just individual responsibilities. I was only one of two interns. I was responsible for carrying out research in these kind of grueling conditions. So remaining adaptive, being able to work with people in very close quarters for a very long time. So I would say that experience really was particularly impactful. Then also study abroad, going to Australia, really kind of being engulfed into a whole other culture. I know it's a little cliche, but in the sense that I learned so much more about their science there, kind of how they approach it, both from the public health side and their environmental side. And so I took classes in both those areas, and which was really fascinating. And then I would say thirdly, my research in your lab. Genuinely, it's actually just very interesting, because I will be reading these documents in my work now, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like we use that compound, or we looked at stuff like this. But beyond just the specifics of the research, I feel like you also gave us a lot of just individual responsibility and trust, and kind of really built up both my own confidence and abilities as a scientist. And so for that, I'm very appreciative. Yeah. So I would say just really don't be afraid to take risks. Like you're going to like if you have an interest, explore it. That's something that I did all throughout my undergrad career and into now. I am have taken part of a wide array of research and subjects.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't change a single one. And even though like I don't have that consistency across my experiences, I have learned so much from each of them that I think it's important to bring because biology is so multiple. Oh my gosh, multidisciplinary. If I could speak. So I would say just to students that are either stepping into a biology major, coming out with one is just it's okay if you don't have it figured out. Like you can take time. There's always time to go back to school or go to a new position. Nothing is final.
Nothing's ever
But
permanent.
each thing, no, exactly. But everything is going to help you in some way, shape, or another. So, yeah,
Nice.
don't be afraid to take risks and explore your interests.